What would you do if a tornado ripped your grandchildren out of your hands? Clara Lutz did not have time to think about it. It just happened. December 10, 2021. Hopkins County, Kentucky. It was a Friday night. Grandmother Clara Lutz was babysitting her two infant grandchildren, 15-month-old Kaden and 3-month-old Dallas, just like she did every weekend she could. The two babies were her whole world. And then her phone lit up. An emergency alert started going off. A tornado. Miles away. Moving fast. Heading directly toward her neighborhood. Clara didn't panic. She did not freeze. She did what grandmothers do, she acted. She grabbed both babies and carried them to the bathroom. She placed them inside the bathtub, the safest spot in any house during a tornado. She tucked a soft blanket around them. She laid a pillow beneath their heads. And then she placed her trust in God, because she believed in something bigger than the storm. She held onto the tub with every ounce of strength she had. The sound came first. Not a distant rumble. Not a warning. A roar. Like the world itself was being torn apart at the seams. Clara felt the house shaking before she heard anything else. The walls vibrated. The ceiling groaned. The lights flickered once, twice, then died completely. Darkness. Total darkness. And then the roar became everything. She gripped the bathtub tighter. She pressed herself against it. She could feel Kaden and Dallas beneath her hands, warm and small and breathing, and she held on with everything she had. Every muscle. Every fiber. Every ounce of love a grandmother carries. The roof tore away above her. She felt it go. One moment there was a ceiling. The next moment there was nothing but wind and rain and a sky full of violence directly above her head. And then the bathtub moved. Not shifted. Not tilted. Lifted. The entire bathtub, with both babies still inside, rose off the floor. Clara's hands gripped harder. Her arms shook. She felt the pull, enormous and unstoppable, like nothing she had ever felt in 70 years of living. And then she felt her fingers slip. Next thing I knew, the tub had lifted and it was out of my hands. I couldn't hold on. Oh my God. The tornado ripped the bathtub completely out of the house. When the roaring stopped, Clara was standing on a concrete slab with an injury on her head. Just a concrete slab. No walls. No roof. No house. Nothing. Everything she owned, 40 years of furniture, photographs, memories, curtains, and crockery, gone. Scattered across Hopkins County like it had never existed at all. She turned in a slow circle in the dark and the rain. And she realized. She did not know where her babies were. She couldn't see them. She couldn't hear them. She didn't know which direction the tornado had thrown them. In the pitch black of a storm-destroyed night, with debris everywhere and her head bleeding, Clara Lutz did the only thing she had left. She prayed. All I could say was, Lord, please bring my babies back to me safely. Please. I beg thee. A sheriff's deputy found her on the slab shortly after. She grabbed his arm and told him what had happened. That her babies were somewhere out there in the debris field and she did not know where. The deputy called it in immediately. Within minutes, other deputies and community volunteers were moving through the wreckage in the dark. Flashlight beams cutting through the rain. Broken wood. Twisted metal. Shattered glass. The remains of an entire neighborhood scattered across the ground. They were looking for a bathtub. In the dark. In the rain. After a tornado. Clara stood at the end of what used to be her driveway and she watched the flashlight beams move through the darkness and she kept praying. The minutes felt like hours. The beams moved left. Then right. Then stopped. Then. Someone shouted. They had found something. Not the babies. The bathtub. It was lying in the front. Upside down. He carefully lifted it and found both babies alive. One deputy's body camera captured the moment he carried the babies back to their grandmother at the end of the driveway. He opened the sheriff's car door and placed Kaden, the 15-month-old, into Clara's arms first. Then Dallas. The 3-month-old. He had a large bump on the back of his head. He was rushed to Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville. Doctors discovered his brain was bleeding. But before Clara even reached the hospital, the bleeding had already stopped on its own. Both babies made a full recovery. The tornado that hit Kentucky that night was part of a catastrophic outbreak of over 40 tornadoes that killed at least 90 people across several states, 75 of them in Kentucky alone. Clara Lutz lost her entire home that night. She said she didn't care about a single thing she lost. "I don't care about anything material. God brought my babies back to me. A blanket. A pillow. And a grandmother who refused to let go, even when the storm was stronger." From a tornado that swallowed an entire house, to 2 babies found dry and alive underneath an upside-down bathtub in the front yard. Nature is the most powerful force on earth. But a grandmother's love is the most stubborn. If this gave you goosebumps, like the video, subscribe, and comment below. What would you have done in Clara's position? Stay hopeful.